Hi, everyone. We're so glad you could join us. My name is Cindy Cool, and with me is Joyce Nichols. If you've joined us before, you know we've been in the software training and consulting business for over 25 years, and almost 20 years with ACT. And it's our pleasure today to show you how you can use ACT's Advanced Queries and Groups feature to save you time when finding specific lists of contacts. For example, maybe you're planning a trip to California and you want to find all of your decision makers, your presidents, your owners that are in your database so you can schedule meetings with them. Or maybe you want to find all of your contacts, your customers that you've not met with or called in over a year or more. Or possibly you're doing a marketing campaign that promotes a particular product. So you want to find all those contacts that have inquired about that product in the last 60 days. Well, using these features that Joyce is going to be showing you, you'll see how the power of ACT will help you find your contacts so you can definitely hit your mark and boost your sales. Our time together is just 25 minutes, so Joyce will be going through this training rather quickly. Remember, you will be sent a link to the video in a couple of days so you can watch it over and over or even share it with your colleagues. And if you do have any questions you'd like to post, please feel free to post those in the questions box and I'll answer them on this webinar or after our time together. Joyce will be showing these features using ACT for Windows, but if you are using ACT for Web, so some of the steps might be slightly different, but again, a lot of the same things can be accomplished through ACT for Web or ACT Premium Cloud. Joyce has got a slide up here that just tells about the different versions of ACT. And if you don't know which version you should be using based on what your needs are, again, please reach out to us. Joyce will be using ACT Premium, so there are a lot of new features with ACT Premium Plus and ACT Premium Cloud Plus as well. So again, we want to help you get the most out of ACT and help you keep your ACT being together. So with that, Joyce, I'm going to go ahead and let you take it away.
Thank you, Cindy. I'm working with the demo database today, and as Cindy said, I've got a lot of really neat ways for you to use ACT. Just so it's more than just a Rolodex. You can mine, as long as the data is in ACT, you can mine that data and you can get a lot of great reports, a lot of great results. So the first thing I'm going to show you, as Cindy mentioned, we're going to be visiting California, and so we want to visit the presidents and the owners of the companies that we do business with. So I'm going to create an advanced query to show that. So you're probably familiar already with when you look up things in ACT, you can use the lookup menu. I think everybody knows that. Also in the detail view, you can also right-click on any field to look up that field. But what happens when you have more than one criteria? You have multiple criteria. And also it's something that you look up over and over again. Sometimes it's a lot of work to create that multiple lookup. So that's where the advanced query can really come in and save you lots of time. So we're going to start by clicking the lookup menu, Advanced Query. Now, if you create dynamic groups, this will look familiar to you. This is the contact criteria because we're in the contact entity. Now, there are different entities in ACT. There are groups, there are companies, there are contacts, there are opportunities. You can use these advanced queries on any of the different entities. We're going to show you the opportunity one in a few minutes. So we want to find, first of all of our contacts in the state of California. So we're in the contact area. So I'm going to click on the field name, and the state is equal to California. Now what I do is every step of the way, I preview my results to be sure I'm getting the desired outcome. So I'm going to add this criteria to the list, and then I'm going to click Preview. So I see that I have 28, looks like, that met the criteria of the state field. Now I also, when I am previewing, especially when you're first getting used to these, how to create these criteria, what I always do is I select the state field, in this example, the field on which I'm querying. I'm going to click on the column heading. And as you probably know, any column can be sorted in ACT by clicking on the column heading. So I can see here with the triangle, I'm sorting ascending. So California is at the top. I'm going to click it again. So I'm sorting descending. California is at the bottom. So I know I'm good to go. The next query that I'm going to place is title. So if the title is equal to, now I can type in the word president, or I can select from the drop-down, whichever is your preference. I'm going to add that to the list. Again, I'm going to preview. So I see I have 3 records that met that criteria. But remember, I also want to visit my owners. So I'm going to add a 3rd criteria, and this is equal to owner. And there's nothing case sensitive in these queries. I'm going to add that to the list, and then I'm going to preview. Well, no records were found. So let's take a look at why we received this informational message. The state equals California, the title equals president, and it equals owner. Well, it can't equal both. It's one or the other. So that's where this and or column applies. So we're going to change this to or. So a title is equal to president or title is equal to owner. I'm going to click preview. Well, it looks like I still have a problem because look at all of these states. I want to narrow it down just to California. So if we remember back to our junior high algebra days, we learned about in math the order of operations, and whatever is in parentheses is done first. That applies to the queries as well. So notice you have columns of parentheses. So I am going to click on and choose this column. And look how sophisticated you could get with your lookups. You can really mine your ACT data and use it for so much more than just a Rolodex. So I want this to be done first. So by putting these 2 criteria in parentheses, this is going to be looked up first, and then the state of California. So now I'm going to click preview, and now I have the results. Again, I'm clicking to sort. Now I have the desired results. So I'm going to click OK. Do I want to save this query? Yes, because this is something that I want to be able to have on hand to schedule my meetings, to schedule my phone calls, to send emails that I'm going to be visiting them. So we're going to save that. And there's a special area in the database called queries. And we're going to call this, we'll just name it California Visit. And choose Save. And I'm going to choose OK. And now I have my lookup. So how do I run this again? So I'm going to go back and just, so I have a different lookup, I'm going to click Lookup All Contacts. Now to run the query again, all you do is Lookup, Advanced Query. I'm going to open my queries. I'm going to choose my California Visit and choose Open. And I'm going to run it. And there I have my lookup. So that's just a very easy example of how you can use the advanced criteria. Now, one thing that might be, it might seem like a lot of steps to have to look up advanced query to open a query. So in other webinars, we've shown you how you can customize your toolbar. So what I have on my toolbar, I have a button for my advanced contact queries and a button for my advanced opportunity queries. So it's a lot easier to customize, and just with one click, there I have my queries, and it's easier to open them, less keystrokes. Let's go ahead and create a different query. This time, we want to know all of the customers who we haven't been reaching out to, who we haven't had phone calls with, who we haven't had meetings with in the last year, or that we've never had meetings with. So let's click on the ID status, and the ID status contains and the ID status contains customer. Now, I wanted to discuss why I chose the contains operator as opposed to the equals operator. Let's go ahead and add this list to the list and preview. The ID status is a multi-select field. That means more than one, it could be more than one selection. So because of that, we use the contains operator when it's a multi-select field. If I sort the ID status, notice if I used equal, I would not have received any of these in my lookup because there's more than one selection. So again, kind of the rule is when you have a multi-select field, you'll use the contains operator. Now, hopefully you'll be using, I'm going to backtrack just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and cancel this out. And hopefully you are using the ACT calendar and knowing that when you clear an activity on the calendar, it automatically posts back to history. And you can manually create history as well. So when you create histories, these system fields are automatically populated. So you can immediately take a look at a record and know when you last had contact with that person, when you last emailed, when you last had a phone call, a meeting. Well, these are fields in ACT. That means you can query on them as well. So we're going to be querying on these fields when we create our lookup. So we're going to click on Lookup, Advanced Query. Now we're going to go ahead and look at the ID status, contains customer. We're going to add that to the list. We want to know if they've had a phone call. So that is the last reached field. And this will give you an idea, this particular query will give you an idea how you can really hone in on exactly what you want to find from your database. Maybe they've never had a phone call. So there's an operator does not contain data. So if that's empty, they've never had a phone call. We're going to add that to the list. And then we're going to choose last reach again. Older than, when you have a date field or a currency field, you've got these neat operators where the month equals, not equal to, older than days, older than, again, you can see the different operators. We want older than 365 days. So what this is going to show us the customers who haven't had a phone call ever or who have not had a phone call within 365 days. Again, it can't be both, so we're going to change this to or, and we want this done as a group. Now, we also want to know if they've had a meeting. So that is the last meeting field. Does not contain data, so we've never had a meeting with them. And also the last meeting. We haven't had a meeting with them in more than a year. Again, can't be both, so we're going to change this to or, and we want this done in a group. And that is the criteria, so we're going to choose OK. We want to save this because we want to run this maybe once a quarter. We want to run this query. So we're going to save this query, and we'll call it we'll just call it in a year. And choose Save. And we'll go ahead and run it. And I've added the record manager to my contact list view, so I can see that all of these contacts that have not had this contact are Chris Huffman's. So then I can work with Chris to start calling those contacts. And again, when I want to run it, maybe next quarter, all I do is click Advanced, and I open this, and I choose my criteria, and I choose OK. Now, what's really neat about the advanced queries is sometimes you go through all this work to create all this criteria, and you think, oh, I wish it was a group. Because maybe you want to start e-marketing, because when you use e-marketing, you e-market to groups. So sometimes your queries can be really a lot of criteria. I'm going to show you a neat feature that can be used with any type of lookup you create. We're going to turn this lookup into a group. So I'm going to click on Lookup, Groups, Save Lookup as a group. I know sometimes where I've created a lookup and I think, oh, I wish I would have a group for that. Well, you can do it with any lookup. So we're going to save group lookup as a group. And just for time's sake, I'm just going to call this not reached. Now watch what happens when I click on Add Remove Contact. Act automatically takes the advanced query criteria and it puts them as a group. So again, the work is done for you. And now you can choose OK. And then you have your group that you can use for e-marketing. Let's go ahead and go to the opportunities area of ACT. And we have a field here that I've created. And it's the contract renewal. So in this particular example, I want to look up all of the contract renewals that are up for renewal in the next 60 days. And I want to hone in on a particular product. Sometimes just maybe the salesperson will want to know this information so he can start contacting those customers to re-up their renewal. But sometimes maybe I want to see what kind of inventory do I need on hand. What's upcoming, so I want to make sure I have that inventory on hand. So we're going to create an opportunity advanced query. We're going to click Lookup, Advanced Query. Notice because we're in the opportunity entity, it automatically is in the opportunities. And again, we can query on the opportunity or a product. In this example, I want to look at the contract renewal. It's a date field, so I want to look at within the next however many days, within the next 60 days. So I'm going to add that to the list. And again, I'm going to preview. So I have 7 that are contract renewals that are coming up in the next 2 months. But I want to specifically have it for my Tech One system. So I know, do I need to order more? I know what's coming up with this. So I'm going to look at my product, and it is equal to, and I have a product that we sell called Tech One System. And I'm going to add that to the list, and I'm going to preview. So now I see that I have 3 upcoming in the next month. And if I want to, I could even add, maybe I want to have specific queries for my different record managers. So I can choose to put in a specific record manager. This would be equal to Chris Huffman. So again, just so much flexibility you have. And now we see that all of these are Chris's. So this is what we have upcoming. I'm going to choose OK. And I'm going to save the current query. And I'll just call it Tech One Contract Renewals. I'm going to save it. I'm going to replace the lookup. And there I have my lookup. And again, perhaps I want to run this every quarter. So I have customized, again, my toolbar. So I just click Advanced Query, and I open the query to run my opportunity queries. Now, again, if you don't have your toolbar customized, then it's very easy just to look up Advanced Query Again, just a couple of extra keystrokes, but if you don't have that customized there, you'll find your advanced query. And I have one other query that I'd like to show you. We have used this query. Sometimes we talk with a customer or with a prospect about a particular product, and then we have a promotion coming out. So when the promotion comes up, we want to find everyone who has inquired about that particular product so we can start e-marketing to those people to let them know there's a promotion. So that's the next type of query that I'd like to create. So I'm going to go back to contacts, lookup, advanced query. And in this example, I want to find my prospects that I've talked with about the particular product. So the ID status, and again, it's a multi-select field, so I'm using the contains operator. It contains prospect. I'm going to add that to the list. Then I'm going to look at the opportunity portion. Again, I can combine my different entities and my days open. And I'm going to show you this because this is a great feature. There's a field in opportunities. It's a newer field called days open. So if this is how you can find those opportunities, there's kind of maybe stagnant that you can, kind of start pushing through. But we want to find those opportunities that the days open is greater than or equal to 60 days. So if it's in a stage for more than 60 days, that's what we're looking. I'm going to add that to the list, and the opportunity product, the name of the product is Tech One Systems, the Tech One system. We're going to add that to the list to preview it. So now I have my contacts that meet that criteria, and I'll choose OK. We're going to save this query, and I'm going to call this Tech One System Promotion Contacts, and replace the lookup. So again, these are the people that I want to start e-marketing. So I might want to look them up, but again, I want to start e-market to them so they know about the promotion. I've created the query already. All I do, look up, groups, save lookup as a group. And again, for time's sake, I'm just going to put e-marketing. And add remove contacts. I have my criteria. So now I can start my e-marketing campaign to those particular clients. So I hope that gives you just a taste of what you can do with your advanced queries. Cindy?
Great, thanks, Joyce. There is so much power in ACT to be found. You can, hopefully this is giving you a taste, like Joyce said, just a real quick taste of what you can do, the power of ACT, and when that data is there, you can mine it to your heart's content. There's so much information available to you that you can help you, again, craft those messages, reach out to the people that need to be reached out to, just to really, again, stay in contact with your customers and to grow your sales. So again, hopefully that's been helpful for you to realize there's more power there that you may not have even known to give you information to make great decisions moving forward. So again, hopefully that was helpful for you and just give you a simple taste of what's available to you. If you have any questions about that or you're trying to build an advanced query that you can't quite get it quite right, please reach out to us. We can maybe take a look at it. And the set of eyes can also just take a look and see if there's something, maybe it's a parentheses that's possibly missing, something like that. So again, if you're finding you can't quite get the lookup you're looking for, let us know. Again, contact information is there. You know how to reach us. If not, please give us a call, email us, either way, whatever is easiest for you. Our next webinar will be on October 11th, and we're going to be talking about the new Outlook integration with the new version of ACT 20.1 that's been released There is a new Outlook integration way of just how that's all working. They've improved that, totally rewritten the Outlook integration, just made that so much better. So we'll be talking about that. And then in our November webinar, still to be determined, but we're kind of thinking about what's new with ACT. ACT 2021 actually will be coming out about that time. So hopefully we'll have a chance to share with you some new features. One new feature I know that I'm excited about is called ACT Automation Manager. And it's going to be taking e-marketing again to a whole new level, allowing you to do a lot more of e-marketing and automation that we're all asking for. So again, those are upcoming. Mark your calendar. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you. Please reach out to us. We're here to help. And thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day.